Welcome to BeoTalk number 391. At least I'm back from vacation.
I had none.
As per usual, they launch stuff when we're not here. It's always how it goes. I told everybody.
Maybe we should take time off more often so the products show up.
Yeah, I was only joking because it was just they just had a
We're
history
wrong.
of anytime I wasn't available that they would launch something.
They always do that.
But
It's funny how the timing works. Do you
it
submit
is-
your schedule, or are you sharing it on Google Calendar with BNO by any chance?
I wish they cared.
Yeah.
I don't think they do.
Nope.
Go buy something at Skinny Play. Covers for your A9, your stage, that sort of thing. Use the promo code for 10% off. As per usual. Good people over in the south of France. Then we have our friends over at Tigrino Studio with like aluminium covers for 28s and that sort of thing. Or 8s. Same deal. Go buy something over at their store. Use the promo code as well for 10% off.
10%, 10%.
Yeah, it's highly worth it. Or get an aluminium cover for your theater. It's really nice. Our super chat for the day, as per usual, is buymeacoffee.com/BeoWilly. Because it works better. And if you have any question and or topic that you want an answer to and or want to keep Willie awake, buy him a coffee.
That's it. Actually, just restocked recently, so.
And we have our friend Steve over at soundheavenly.com or .co.uk, whichever you want. And go buy some cables if you needed some, because they're the best cables.
Too bad if you're in US or Canada.
Yeah, well, befriend somebody in the UK and maybe have them help out. I think one option is drop shipping. And that's mainly because then you are responsible for all the stupid paperwork that is now mandatory.
Mm-hmm. Even within the Europe?
No, he sends to the UK and Europe.
Mm.
So that works. But with these, is it now a year or so with all this stupid new China stuff, where everything has to be taxed differently when one singular part is from China. You have to fill out so much paperwork on the sender side that it's just not worth it at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think he's still taking care of somebody in his family, so
that's silly, but it's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, this was like this sort of a while ago, I paid more more import tax on my A5 than I did on anything else that I got from Beano from Europe, because the battery was Chinese.
Oh. That's silly, but aren't most of the batteries from China anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Even all the factories that are like Duracell, I think they are made in China.
I think there's one pack of Duracell where it says made in the USA.
Yeah, and it's like $30 for 4 AA's or some shit. Yeah. Bahama prices.
But batteries, for some reason, need to be charged extra for than all the other stuff that's made in China. So you get different tax rates on a singular product because of the parts that are in it.
My God.
It's painful.
Yeah, I completely respect it. I didn't think I would put up with it too if I were to do the shipping and stuff. It'd be no bueno. Pass.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
How's the Formula One going? Did you notice any of it, or is it just a lot of people? Or
I specifically this year had committed to stay out of downtown completely, and the Formula gods were on my side, and it happened because we ended up doing a job that we're wiring a whole office just off of the highway, so it's close to my house. But yeah, no, I skipped it, man. And today it's It's a formula at I think at 3 o'clock or whatever when it starts, if it already didn't. And then there's a hockey game, right? And the Habs are in playoffs. So, and every time they win, they riot downtown in the city, completely fucking shit on fire. Everything's being broken, busted. Like literally it's a riot. I don't know why. I guess that's the way to celebrate in Quebec or Montreal, but it's like that. So today, if the formula goes good, it's kind of muggy. So I don't know, but that doesn't stop. Once you have a few in you, the rain is superficial, and when the pool really starts hitting the fan. So I don't know. We'll see after the hockey game what the Instagram feed is going to end up looking like as far as the downtown Montreal goes. But I have no particular plans, and I brought my car. I finally fixed it.
All right.
So
what was wrong with it? Was it the crankshaft sensor?
No, it was the low pressure fuel pump and the module itself, because one or the other got cooked by one or the other, because Audi originally didn't replace the module, they just replaced the pump. So, and if it was a faulty module and it was sending fucked up signal to it, then, and I found this out when you were actually traveling. I came up to my friend's house on Saturday, spent 2 hours, hot and cold, starting the car, this and that. And then it just wouldn't do it. I'm like, fuck sakes, man, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go home. So I started the car for the last time and just and started. I'm like, oh my God, yes, thank God. It's quickly booting up the computer and plugging in the OBD, and then we finally got the readings. And yeah, the fuel pump at the back wasn't pushing fuel at all.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. So we swapped that on Saturday, and then realized that I had a feeling about my spark plugs too.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, those were cooked, bro. Like, it was cooked so bad that there was nothing on cylinder 2, because I had a misfire on cylinder 2, like continuously almost. Okay. So that's how I white knuckled the car to his house, and like, man, at this point, like, is it the pump or is it what is the injectors now? Call this. But we popped the spark plugs. Like, oh my God, man, we gotta get spark plugs. Thank God the Napa was opened, so we bought the spark plugs, and he had the injector coils that he was going to put in his car, so that never made it, and put them in mine. And now the car is perfect, man. Even went and washed it, because that was terrible. It wouldn't start after washing it either, or had a hard time. I don't know why, but it now works, no problem. So I'm gonna go for a drive to Vermont and load up on some burbs.
Yeah, it's always strange when stuff like that breaks, but it's never really clear. I mean, it's either air, it's fuel, or spark, right? Like, if you miss one.
Dude, we had that OBD tool plugged into it for a good hour combined time. And like, we went through the camshaft sensors, we went through the temperature, right? And then you look at the default temperature, it's set to minus 48, which is what the fuck? And like, there's no way, and there's got to be something wrong with that. So then he had another, I think it was a GTI Golf or whatever. It's the same engine. So his daughter's car. So he pulled it beside mine. We started it, plugged it in, looked at the same value. It's a set value by into the ECU by non-existing sensor, because she had the same value on it, minus 48.
It's so strange.
It's bizarre as hell, right? But that threw us off. I'm like, no, man, okay. So we cross-checked. I'm like, no, this is not it. So, and then finally, dude, it felt like working on an old fucking Masterlink system, quite honestly. in a like a 10-zone house, when you have a couple 3500s on the wall that are a pain in the ass to take off, and a 9000 with an FM antenna plugged into it properly, with aux in and out, right? So it's just juicy. That's basically what that felt like. But we finally got to the root of the problem and the cause of it. So yeah. And then I was so excited about it. So I spent the entire battery life of the Grays listening to just whatever music and detailing the inside and outside. So yeah,
I was wrong. Formula One starts at 4. So after this, you may still have some annoyance.
There you go. So yeah. 4.5 hours of detailing is what Graces last. But yeah, it was
still loving the Graces.
Finally, I absolutely adore them. And you know what? Now I dread when they die and I have to go back to EXs.
Yeah.
This, at least, like, for YouTube and stuff, it really makes not that much of a difference. However, I really prefer the virtualize preset because it just not that it collapses or compresses, but it collapses everything more or less like you're listening to a sound system in front of you. It's not stereo, right? And sometimes on YouTube when you watch uh, some dash cam video or whatever, right, when it comes up only on one channel because that's just how it's recorded, so that kind of brings it back down. So I appreciate that. Or some podcasts where, like the guy that I watched, the Kenny Slovas, right, the dam buster guy that takes apart those dams, the beaver dams, by hand. So sometimes the microphone, the wind blows into the microphone differently, so it works. It works better on the Graces. I really like them. I really like them. I think that, yeah, the build quality is amazing, but I think you're really paying for that design of sound profile inside those little earbuds more than anything. Absolutely. Though, because I spent so much time with them, I also did some through USB-C through case listening, right? On
Yes.
Tidal high, whatever, high res. I didn't notice any difference. Quite honestly, actually, I had to disable the Bluetooth because they never connected to the case. So I don't know if I'm doing it wrong as a process. Maybe I have to just have the case plugged into the phone directly and then take the earbuds out of the case and put them in.
Huh.
I don't know. Yeah, it's really bizarre. And also, none of the presets work, like the virtualize or for Dolby stuff. None of that is controllable. In you only have the noise cancellation available for playing around.
That seems
But
like somewhat of an oversight.
but if you press it on the button, it somehow makes it work. But through the app, it doesn't work.
Well, I guess more coding to do for them then.
I think that there are a couple quirks, and especially I think that for me, I think the biggest burner is when I'm connected to the panel with the Graces, and I connect it to the phone, and the notification comes in, so it pauses the picture to give you the chick, right? Whatever the notification
Yeah.
sound, and then it fucks off again, right? So I disconnect, like if the video is paused and I disconnect the Grace from the phone, they don't crash. But if they're
Okay.
playing from the TV and I disconnect them, one goes done. You have to put it back in the case and then take it out to restart it, and then it's fine.
Is it always
But
the same one, or is it just
no random? It's never the same one. Sometime left, sometime right. But if you pause it quick enough while it's starting to do that noise, it stops it, and then you press play again, and they're perfectly synchronized from the
could
TV
it be
panel.
whoever is assigned master at the point of pulling it out the case?
That's what I thought about too. That it could be that maybe one is. I just don't understand how they connect into the phone. Like, are they each earbud connected individually for the sake of, like when you go from the case to case or from case to ear, right? Like some people do. When you want to, like, when you're on a long call and shit's gonna die, you take one earbud off or AirPod, right? You throw it in the case to charge up so you can still, swap around. So I don't know how that works, but I think maybe that's how they're connected to the phone, that they're both connected individually, and from the TV, just one is a master and one is a slave, I guess, or secondary for political correctness. Since I bitched about that with 90s, so yeah, the primary keeps going, I think, and the secondary one craps out. So that's my finding of living with the Grace for, man, I've had them for quite a while now, at least a month or some. I use them every day, man. Every day.
Good. It's a good investment then.
Yeah. I thought that the novelty will wear off and whatever. It did a little bit on the leather case. Like, I don't care for it, but I'll take it with me when I travel because it's always better to have a case in the case, right?
Yeah.
But I don't take them out with me. They're just in-home earbuds, basically. And I do a lot of phone calls on them. A lot of talking, a lot of listening. And yesterday was a lot of listening to music. So yesterday was the first time that they actually left the apartment on my ears, which was going downstairs to the wash bay and do my car.
Yeah, they're quite expensive to take out the house and potentially lose one or two of them.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And with my luck, I would just drop it somewhere in the storm fucking drain or never to be seen again, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's all sorts of situations, right? I don't know, you trip and you fall, and one comes out and goes flying and you never see it again, or...
I tend to not listen to music when I'm outside, like as a pedestrian. More or less, I'm outside when I'm a pedestrian is during a work day, right? When we go for lunch, so it's usually a group of at least 2 or 3 of us, whoever brought lunch or whoever didn't bring lunch. But no, I use them predominantly at home. I took them out once to actually a service call in Gatineau, which is about 2.5 hour drive from Montreal, from my house.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a fucked up experience because they completely deleted the sound of the vehicle, right? When you have the windows down or up completely. So it's just, you just feel the bumps, but you don't hear anything. It's a very different sensation, I guess. Not used to it. But they are fantastic in sound, absolutely fantastic in sound. And I think that I know for a fact, I'm glad that I went on the quest on finding which earbud tips are the best or would fit, and those foam ones make a big difference. The name just left my mind now.
AirPod Pro 2.
1 and 2, yeah. 1 and 2 version, yeah. The 3s are a little smaller.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting some of those for my AirPods, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
Just order them on Amazon, shit.
Yeah, I know, but it's stuff to do, right? And stuff to remember, and I don't write it down. And once you think about it, it's like, damn, I'm in bed already. I'm firing up my phone again.
Do that, but yeah, no, they are. They do work very well for me, at least, because I like the stay put. Like, there's not that much of a difference in what would you call it? Sound dampening, more or less, or noise isolation. Like, it's more noticeable, I think, on the EXs because the lack of how good the noise canceling is. But I also think that, like, making a noise canceling I think that they do have ability to make it completely delete the outside world, but I don't think that's healthy, first of all, and I don't think that's safe. And you should hear at least some, you know.
Yeah, AirPods do that pretty well, but I don't like it. It makes me feel all sorts of ways. That
it's too quiet.
That too, but it also puts like this constant pressure in your eardrums.
Well, yeah, because those drivers are
like constantly firing.
That's right.
I mean, yes, it's not noise, but it is pressure, and it's just
it is noise, just the mirror image of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, I'm very happy with the purchase. So far, the best earbuds that they've ever made, which of course should be the case. But
well, for the price, especially, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so this is what we've missed out on, eh? He looks like the keymaker from Matrix.
He probably is to a certain extent. I mean, he got them to make more Beogram 9000s.
9000Cs?
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Are they now 9000Fs because they're the Fragment version?
Okay. I thought it was just the headphones. I thought it was just the H100s, but he actually made it so they make it for... He's got to be a pretty big fan, because that's from what I'm reading on that he was he's just a Bang & Olufsen enthusiast and a, 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 a fashion designer, I guess, that he was
Let's see. Is the Fragment version here? No. So what's I don't think they're all that
I think
much
it's
more
only
expensive.
I think it's for Japanese market only, isn't it?
Yeah, it could very well be. Maybe this is a doorway more into like Asia, I guess. Because I personally never heard of this brand.
No, that's when I got the email. Like, and who are you, man? Like,
Then again, I'm not that hip, so it's not that surprising. I never heard of it.
I'm way less hip than you are.
I mean, they've made a shape for him.
I like that, but he's not the first one to invent a butter like a flower design on it.
Yeah, but it's probably, I don't know, slightly different colors.
Oh yeah, it could be like the whatever.
I mean, I went to the Fragment website, right? And this is apparently what they sort of sell.
Something like Drake would wear.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sure here.
I don't get this. This just seems like regular.
No. I'm looking at it as well, like a goat stares at the freshly painted gate, trying to understand. But I don't. Like, cool. I guess it's just like we're so in depth with or in tune with BNO. I guess you got to be in tune with the industry like this in order to understand and appreciate these different designers. But that's a lot of sitting on Instagram to be researching what's cool. Quite honestly, that's because my girlfriend is in a fashion, and that's what she was doing constantly, bro.
I think this is some Korean girl band, if I'm not mistaken.
Blackpink.
Yeah.
What's with this spelling shit backwards and upside down? I don't understand either.
Well, you're not cool if you don't do that.
It almost looks like Russian letters in some way.
Suka blyat.
Suka blyat. Do
you want to look dandy?
Look dandy. Jesus mercy.
All my friends are rich here. Okay. This is Japanese fashion or Asian fashion is in general is so strange when it comes to English prints on their on their stuff.
Because I don't think that their phrases are actually like word to word translatable. That's just my opinion.
Do you want a pink palm puff?
That just sounds wrong, almost.
I mean, I don't hate it. I just don't understand it. Like, it looks, I don't know, nothing all that special to me. So,
yeah, but you're probably a baller when you're in a nightclub, which that's not where I end up.
Yeah, I guess I don't live there either.
So
but yeah, you have the BeoSound or BeoSystem 9000C Fragment Edition. So I guess they had some chassis left over.
BNO, if you want, I have a freshly rebuilt 9000 here still, Mark III, up for sale.
Hiroshi Fujiwara. Okay, so that's Hiroshi, I guess.
Hiroshi. It's a very short video.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So that's his collection, I guess, for the collector. So you can buy these overpriced ass hoodies and then buy yourself a 9000C with the 28s for a lot of money.
Whilst I do really like this color setting of this system like this.
I do like it too, man. I have to say, I just realized that the bottom woofers are silver. because they were black all the way, right, on the old ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moon black or whatever they called it.
But your website is kind of broken because, like, you click on learn more and you go to the original, not to the same special edition. What the hell? But I do like the black on black color setting, meaning that they chose to go for a small logo, not like etch it in the glass or something.
The fucking Supreme, remember, on the P2. Well, very cool. I wonder how many units are there.
Limited edition, exclusively available in Japan as made-to-order setup. Maybe it's for PewDiePie. I don't know. He still lives in Japan, right?
I guess. I wonder how much they cost.
I don't know. PewDiePie is 50, so maybe he doesn't want 28.
Well,
I mean, he's balling so hard he has 50s in his home office.
That's not a bad place to have them.
Yeah, but the room is like this size.
Oh, shit.
Like, it might be a little bit bigger, but not a lot bigger.
So, yeah. I don't know. I like it, but it's something that I don't think will ever see a day of light in North American market or anywhere else in Europe. I think it's just gonna, unless it gets moved out of Japan, whoever buys it.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna go through the process as well, through the questionnaires and all that jazz. That, remember, like, you had to write a case. Why would you deserve that?
Probably.
And you have to sign a contract for that system to never leave Japan.
I mean, the H100s in all black, I do kind of like that color setting.
Mm-hmm. They are cool.
I mean, this is kind of nice looking. It's maybe a bit glossy, but I do like it.
Mm-hmm. No, the black is fine. It's a traditional headphones color, I guess. Come to think of it. But yeah, I'm quite interested how many will actually be in the wild after this is done and over with. Because this is almost like I don't know. It's just, I see all these collabs is basically harvesting the atelier project on different things, you know.
Yes, kind of.
To me, that's what that is.
It's practice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what sort of things can we come up with?
But yeah, it's I don't mind it.
Somebody on Discord was saying that apparently glossy leather and glossy things in like the Asian markets mean expensive.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's true or not, because like I don't live there. I'm not that intimate with them, but maybe that's why everything's so glossy, because even on the A1, right, like the whole top cover is glossy as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it shines.
Yeah. It's almost like, maybe it is. Is it a piano finish, you think?
Maybe it could be. It almost looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's paint.
Or paint. Yeah, if they're doing a piano finish on a burger, man, that's going to be expensive burger.
Yeah.
That's going to be an expensive burger, for sure. But I don't know. I kind of got over it. I think the first one was the Berluti that I didn't understand, but then it's just, you know what? If that's your jam, then fill your pantry with it, then, I guess.
Yeah, the Berluti now seems cheap looking back.
Mm-hmm.
The BeoPlay H100s in USD are 2,400 USD, which is $200 more, which is not bad.
No.
The A1 is 475 USD, which is 100 more.
I think so. I think it's 375.
Yeah, the Shape is 7,100 USD, which is hard to know because I think it's probably only a 2-speaker setup.
100%.
That's semi.
You could stuff 4.
Yeah, but not for that price, then, right?
No.
So the H100, A1, and the Shape are available worldwide. Only the 9000C is exclusive to Japan, and it's going to be 69,650 USD.
Okay.
Which is not actually that far off the original. What was it called? 7222 or something?
Yeah. Something like that. I forget.
Because I think Steve knows somebody that bought the 9000C setup with 28s. Like from B&O, like the recent one, not the recreation for like a third the cost. And,
well, you can still drive it with a freaking an LML converter, essentially, right? Put a link high on it, and then just have it as that's what controls the volume. Power link comes out of it. 9000 is an option 0.
Look, if you wanted to, you can just get a BO4, right, and do straight power link into 28s.
Exactly.
Then you're still on one remote, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. And everything will be available from the 27th of May, so 3 days. Okay.
Nice. May 28th?
It's 27th.
27th.
This is so strange, by the way. The collection will debut exclusively at a dedicated pop-up store inside the department store in Shinjuku, Tokyo. It's like, you have stores in Japan.
Yeah,
like
but that's not to do with
very
them.
pretty ones too.
I know, but I don't think that they want that's nothing to do with the shop, which makes no sense to me. But
yeah, okay,
doesn't make sense. But I guess because it's fashion, right? So they're bringing the B&Os, bringing the fashion to it. And I don't know if they see it as whatever. Maybe the dealers are involved on a presentation level, like, you know, those cables and shit that was hanging there on that picture.
Yes.
What was that about, man? Like, that is, you make I guess you can manage the cables, or you can just make a curtain out of it.
Yeah.
Pull it up, share it with the class if you can. But yeah, that was so I don't know if that's something that the dealers are involved with. Like, what the fuck,
man? What are we doing? Known for your cable management.
So much money in those spools, man. Like, where do you even buy all that?
The Japanese version of Home Depot, I guess.
Holy shit. Like, that's a lot of wire spooling. And they're just kind of hung over, crossed over.
It's a copper thief's dream.
Oh, I'm telling you. But yeah, I guess that's one way to do it, is to make a curtain out of it if you can, to hide the cables. But I do like those 28s in that color combo scheme.
Well, apparently
A9's not part of it, is it?
I don't think so. It's not mentioned.
I guess
maybe
it
somehow it is, but I don't know.
Or they just threw a walnut with the black ring on and that's it.
Ed asks, why did the A2 fade away? Because the driver shape isn't conducive to long-term reliability, and also it
Yeah,
firing both ways is kind of strange for placement in most ways.
that and yeah, most of the drivers cracked around the edges, and also the passive radiators in them too. And I don't think it was that good of a design when it comes to droppability of the product, because the grill kind of overlapped and clipped on to that outer lip, that if you dented the shit out of it or it broke off, then it wouldn't really want to hold, and then it vibrated. It was a great idea. Don't get me wrong. When I first saw it, I was like, this is a proper Bluetooth speaker, but it's something that's essentially is meant to be hung midair or put on a table, like, and on a normal circumstance, it's just as cumbersome as taking a level into a park, because it won't stay upright. But at least the level has the sound bubble, right? Acoustic preset, where
Yeah.
A2 just fires down into the anthill with one side. That's
I mean, I liked
goddamn cable.
I liked an A2, but I don't know. It's also B&O at some point, especially with the Bluetooth stuff, right? They don't like making the same thing for a very long time unless it's iconic, like the burger.
Mm-hmm. The burger, yeah, the burger's been around for a long time, longest out of all of it, because the package just makes sense.
Yeah. I think they're somewhat trying to see what sticks, right? And if it sticks, we'll
Mm-hmm.
make it forever, like an A9.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it's just sort of quirky. But since we're on the way of making it, we might as well sell some of it.
Yeah, and some of it sticks for a long time. Some of it just, it's a wash.
I mean, if anything, the follow up on the A2 is kind of the P6, if you remember that.
The
But that was also a strange sort of solution.
It's a strange design, yeah.
I mean, it sounded quite all right.
Oh, yeah. But it wasn't it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't it. If you do anybody come across a dead P6 and it's just the battery, the burger battery works inside as well. It's just not as many amp hours, so it's going to last nowhere near as long, but it will work still. So here's a little nugget of my playing around with these things over years knowledge. Because I'm sure when you get a P2 now, it's definitely past the warranty.
Oh, yeah.
Like heavy.
Yeah, so I don't know, B&O collabed with Japanese fashion. I mean, I guess if you want to have some fun, right, look at like clothing stores in like Vietnam and that sort of area. I mean, there's so much of that on like Instagram and YouTube where you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Because like everybody's super small, right? So if you sell anything for European size or American size women, right, the store is often called like fatty big girl and shit like that.
That's funny. I guess they are small people. I don't know. I do like it. Good for them. It's just, at least they're keeping themselves somewhat on the relevant side of things, even though there is really no forecast for new products coming out other than the Haven, which will it ever see the daylight in the shop? I don't know, but I'm hoping. And
I mean, also
we're waiting, basically.
The financial year ends in what, a month or so for them?
Yeah, and I think that somebody needs to also grab the steering wheel pretty quick here.
Yeah, you can't be interimming it for that long. Either just give the guy the job or stop fucking around and hire somebody. Like, I don't know, how'd you say it, Vendelboe, or however you say his name, but I have nothing against him.
I don't know the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I knew of Christian Terre before he came, and I was kind of worried that it was all going to be what it was, where it's going to be like expensive things because he likes expensive things.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the decisions were more made because he likes to go to expensive places, and if you sponsor them, you get tickets.
Hence the F1, the
Yeah.
Ferrari nonsense. That was a money pit. Oh my god! If they did that and pushed that into the R&D, man, we would have been so much ahead instead of in those fucking dark ages of how many years.
Yeah, I still don't quite get what the idea was behind that compared to like any of the other channels you could have done, other than he liked going to Formula One races, as I would too. But like, I don't see how you can justify that.
To bring your entire brand along with it, and just because you have a sticker on the inside of a back spoiler.
Yeah, and then so royally mess it up, right? Like, because they sponsored what, 2 years? You
Mm-hmm.
worked in Montreal for those 2 years. There were 2 races in Montreal. Like, what did you guys ever do with Formula One? Fuck all.
Nothing.
The
Nothing.
same for Miami, right? Like,
nothing is happening.
Like, where was B&O in Texas, in the Circuit of the Americas, right? Nowhere.
No.
I mean, if there is a place with a fucking bunch of oil money, it's Texas.
And they should have, in my opinion, like if the stores weren't, I guess, either or interested or permitted to interface with this whole deal, right? Then send your people from Denmark to represent. Send some product. You're still gonna have to contract somebody in that state to come over and install it, because you can't just fly with tools and shit without visas into US. You're gonna get no good. Doesn't end well.
The only store they actually did anything was the Monaco store.
Mm-hmm.
They had set up racing sims with 90s and stuff.
I remember seeing pictures of that. That was pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, there was no motion in the ocean for that. And I think that's a big mistake, because they could have capitalized on this.
Yeah, it's just sort of like, we're testing the water, we're going in ankle deep and not any further.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like, okay, wait, you're trying to sling headphones at a Formula One race? Like, is that it? For that much money?
And then you trip, fall, and the balls hit the water, and that's basically what happened. And they realized we're in too deep, but not deep enough, and it costs a lot. They're not a company that can afford to do that.
No.
So,
I mean, the same with that Caroline Wozniacki.
mm-hmm.
Her house that got essentially sponsored by B&O in Miami. And that's partially because he was on the board of WTPA, or the Women's Tennis Professional Association or something like that, before B&O. It's like, okay, this seems highly personal.
Yeah.
Then, like, what was on the website about it was literally like, oh, we did like 2 pages, like it was a magazine. It's like, is that it?
Yeah, there should have been more. There should have been way more. But it wasn't. And instead, money was wasted instead of developing not better products, because their products are great. It's just something new. I still think that they should address the audio master issue, or make some sort of an elaborate remote control that does streaming basically with the app built in, that is a committed piece at home that you can either carry around with you or I don't know, man. There needs to be an audio master, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we've beaten this to death at this point.
Yeah. But I'm still going to attempt to beat the remote control to death too. They need to come up with something different.
I
They
mean,
need to come up with something different.
if you believe B&O, right? Like the best way to use your your
Oh,
graces is to play
Liz.
tennis with them.
Jesus Christ. Go downhill biking.
Yeah.
See how far you get.
I mean, you desperately don't want to hear, right, what your opponent is doing.
Yeah. Put the noise canceling on full. Crank them up and just, whatever she's listening to. Barbie girl, probably. I don't know. That's a bit of a nonsensical ad as far as the. But I don't think you can really show them on the bicycle because then you're promoting not, safety, I guess.
Evening, Harry.
So, hey, bud. So yeah, I don't know. It's good.
I mean, at least they posted stuff on Instagram for a change. Instead of
That's the B&O, yeah, that's the B&O official.
Yeah, instead of completely ignoring it.
Somebody's doing their job in the office. Well, I guess soon the summer holidays coming. Oh yeah, if you could have paused that we could have seen the burger if it was shiny or was it paint or.
Yeah,
Hold on.
let's see. Can you even pause it on desktop? Yes.
Let's see how good you
are. Damn it.
Let's try again.
Come on. Ah, there we go. That is fairly glossy.
That is glossy as shit, bro. I really like it. I don't know about the damn logo, but I like the finish on it. It looks like piano finish almost, but I don't think it's polished to the level of like the fives were, the piano ones.
Harry asks, I have H95s. Is it worth it getting H100s? You may have covered this. No, don't worry about if we covered it before or not. Is anything wrong with them? Do you have the money? If you have the money burning a hole in your pocket, right? Like you might as well, depending on your dealer, you may still get a trade-in.
I would probably do the Grace instead of the H100 since you already have the overhead headphones.
Well, if you don't have the money, don't do it. Like it's it's that kind of simple, right?
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna gain that much wind in your sails by going from 95s to 100s, in my opinion. They sound great, but yeah. I would if I were to do it, I would buy the earbuds instead. They're more practical.
Yeah, they are better. There's no doubt about it. But
yes.
Is it? Do you use them that much? Like, there's so many personal questions that I don't really know what to say. Right? I don't know. If you ask me, is something akin to like I have 28s, I have the money, and I want 50s. Is it worth the upgrade? Absolutely. But yes. if you're gonna have to, I don't know, survive on ramen and bread and stuff like that, then I wouldn't say do that.
Saltine crackers. Oh shit.
Depending on where you are, you still have that sort of first month period where you can return them if you don't like them. Or if you have a dealer nearby, go to the store and see if you like them or not. Vancouver, yeah, then go to the store.
Yeah.
Maybe see if they have a trade-in policy still going for H95s. Because
I don't think they might.
They used to have that when I don't know if it's still going, but it used to be $500 US.
off of the H100s.
Yeah, if you traded in H95s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's still going, right? Like, so who knows? It may not be.
I don't think it's. I would honestly stay with the 95s till they die. Maybe by then there's gonna be H105s or whatever the next year of whatever.
That I almost doubt, because they're going to support these, or at least as they say, for a long ass time.
Yeah. Well, let's hope. Gee.
I mean, they're going to support the H100s to at least 2030. Just by
What about
the 5-year warranty you got.
Oh yeah, that's true. I never got an extension on my Grace.
No, that was 3 years for those.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference is. I guess because it's harder to fix them, but
I don't think there is a way to fix them, brother. I think that's
But the H100s are pretty modular. Like, you can easily replace all the headband bit and
yeah. But I think that in the Graces, I think that the only thing that's salvageable, if anything, would be the aluminum tube.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna F up the plastic bit no matter what. Like, I don't care what tools you use. Maybe they have something that is proprietary and separates the earbud on the service level, I guess, like a jig. But other than that, man, So the Grace is really good, bro. Honestly, I absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. If I could use them for the podcast, but then because the microphone sounds like shit on this PC because the Bluetooth is from back in the day when TVs were black and white still, I guess. So it's not kosher.
Yeah, that computer's what, 2022 or something like that? Yeah. Oh, it's already that old?
No. When did I get that computer? I think 2018. 2018, maybe 2019. It's been a while because I was still in Calgary. In the in my second apartment. Yeah.
I remember you getting it, but I sometimes forget that's been a while.
Because then I did podcasts from the Lego room instead. Because I just didn't want to lug it like I can do it now every Sunday into the kitchen. But yeah, it's the Bluetooth on it sucks. Like, we've tried it, but when I speak on the phone, people barely can tell that I have a hood fan going or something's around me going on. Like, it's just they're fucking fantastic, man. Honestly, they're fucking fantastic. I can't say enough about them. Yes, the battery. Quite honestly, like, if you're listening to something for 4 hours, dude, and having your ears plugged for 4 hours is a long time. Is a long time. So, but they charge extremely fast. When I put them in the case, like 15, 20 minutes, and I'm at 60%.
Yeah.
So, and like, I guess the argument is for the long flights and whatever. Well, there's always going to be time where you're just going to take them off for a bit. I've seen people with headphones, man. Everybody has a point where even if it's the cans or whatever, they fucking take them off and just give them ears a break. So that's the time you charge them. Or when you trying to fall asleep, you can just charge them when you're sleeping.
Yeah, right now I would love earbuds because it's been raining like crazy and it's a warm day, so it's very humid.
And that's
like
another
having
thing,
these over my ears is kind of unpleasant at the moment.
And in the summer, especially like Florida, but Vancouver is not a cold city either. So I just find they're more comfortable. Like, I've spent time at Mikey's house for 2 weeks with the H100s, and I've fucking juiced them for a good 2-3 hours a night. Listen to all kinds of music, blah blah blah. Like, the noise canceling is fabulous, right? But you don't need much of a noise canceling at fucking 2 a.m.
No.
So that's one thing. But One thing I didn't like about them is the fact that when you do lay on the pillow and you move your head one or the other, then it's either the volume or the goddamn noise cancellation goes up and down. You can hear the tick 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 because it rotates on the pillow, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have
And
that issue with the Grace.
I think that's also probably better on the H95s, where it's like the inner ring, like it's not on
Yes.
the outside; it's like here.
Yes, so it doesn't accidentally get nobbled when you're laying or relaxing. Same thing, like if I were to lean on the Eames chair, like I would piss around with the volume knobs. So
Yeah.
that's the only drawback that I have for the H100s when it comes to, just practical use of them. But yeah, especially when you fall asleep with them and your head goes to the volume upside, and then all of a sudden, depends on what's playing, but it's loud. So you wake up and oh shit. But other than that, uh, the battery life, of course, it's incomparable. But that also comes with the size of the battery inside the headphones of the H100s and what the Beo Grace has. But now going back and forth between Grace and not H100, the EXs, I really like the near field tap for volume control. It's much more precise than trying to hold and let go to see where you are on the volume. It's not as accurate. Like EXs were more built for volume control off of your cellular or phone device versus having it going through the TV. Now in the TV, for some reason, if you go volume up, doesn't matter if it's the Grace or HXs on the LGs, they don't go past 85 on the remote control. You have to do it manually. No idea. It's a built-in limitation, I guess, by LG or whatever. But
Yeah,
other
maybe
than
it's
that,
one of these weird laws where you can't blow somebody's ears out or something.
yeah. So you can go over it, but you have to do it manually with your headphones. But yeah, they're miles away from HXs as far as the sound quality goes, and also the operation. I find it's way more intuitive with having the near field tap, and that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it, man. I think that you can't go wrong with either or, I guess. But I would still opt in for Beo Grace if you have the H95s already.
Yeah,
So
I concur.
get the new orange color. They're sweet, the honey tone. If I were to get another set, I would get the black ones. I would get the anthracite black, just like to have a spare.
You're welcome, Harry.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother. But yeah, that's you're hearing it from somebody that has used both, and well, unfortunately, I haven't. Now the Grace has way more ear hours than the H100s did at this point, but I just the whole they fit into what the fucking what is it, a condom pocket or whatever they call it, watch pocket on the jeans. The case fits perfectly in those. If you have Hugo Boss or Armani jeans, they fit perfectly in them.
I guess I never wear jeans anymore because it's always too hot here.
Well, boo.
I mean, today is somewhat mild, and it's like 30 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, it's 11 here. It's cold and it's like muggy and it's raining on and off. I was gonna go for a drive somewhere, but I just cleaned the whole car, so it's gonna be nice and shiny on the way to the office tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I still have to clean our car. Like we did some mass murder of bugs driving around to the south.
Oh boy, yeah, that's the worst. That's the story of going through Saskatchewan. The bugs are fucking real over there, man. Like, and it's not like you can hear them.
I mean, after
Splat.
what was it? After like 5 hours on day one just setting off, right? Like we had to stop and actually clean the windscreen because it was getting so full.
You know what I miss? Audi used to make it was a spray bottle, like typical Audi black with the little, whatever, the spray handle, the great top cap. But they made one that was an insect melting spray for like windshields.
Yeah.
I have never seen anything like it ever since, man. And I regret that I didn't buy more, but hindsight is always 2020. But I've had them for a while. And you spray that on the window at the gas station, you wait a few seconds, and then you just squeegee that off. Like it comes off completely clean. Like it breaks all those enzymes down to nothing. Soup.
You can buy those anywhere here. So if you're coming to the north, go buy some when you buy some whiskey.
Yeah, because I haven't seen them anywhere. There's Audi in Burlington.
Stop at an AutoZone and get some Turtle Wax bug remover or something like that.
Oh, they probably have the Turtle Wax stuff here in Canadian Tire, but I'm just specifically talking about that one because I've tried a whole bunch of different ones over the years, but that Audi branded one was, man, that was a goat. That was the best. That took all that goofy off. Ugh. Fuck, I remember when my best friend at the time, we were working at the office, got into the bikes, right? The Harleys and shit.
Yeah.
So he grew this huge ass beard and we're going paintballing. So I drove my car and he's like, I'll take the bike and Laura, I'll take all the stuff and I loaded my car here, right? So you can just ride your bike. We get to the paintball field, bro. Like he had at least 15 different species of bugs in his beard because it just all flies in, right? You can't do shit about it. He got bit in the chin because a wasp came in, right?
Ugh.
Oh, dude, I'm like, that's biker's life. I'm like, I don't know if I would do that.
No.
But apparently, like, if you take a beetle at a good 80, 90 kilometers an hour, it freaking hurts, man. It'll cut your cheek.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
it's unpleasant.
Yeah. I don't like the bugs.
I mean, you might as well do this to your face, right? Like,
yeah,
like I'm driving.
Or catch a rock. But yeah, I never understood that for that bug reason as well, to ride on the motorcycles without like either a windshield glass, whatever you call it, the front glass, or the full helmet with the visor.
Yeah.
And you can have your BeoGrace in that helmet too. Noise canceling, all that freaking 1800 cc's under your ass, which would be a tough call. But yeah, so Harry, I think you should buy BeoGrace. That's the moral of this podcast.
Unless you absolutely desperately want that power bank.
Just buy it separately.
Yeah.
Buy the power bank separately. Somebody was complaining on the Discord that it scratched their phone, the glass of the power bank.
No, I'm not surprised. It has edges.
Yeah. I'm not the one that has, like, I was always the guy that never had a case for his phone. And this time around, I bought that mouse case, which has been on this phone for a long time. And it's saved it so many times. But it still works with the MagSafe and all that. So that's what I would do. But I don't think I would just more or less, it's a collector's curiosity for me and not something that I would more or less utilize. It's like a fucking Milwaukee power banks from the jackets, and they can juice up some phones, man. You can run a freaking laptop off it.
Yeah, I mean, I would get this power bank just because it says B&O on it, but other than that,
same here, dude. That's exactly where it's boiled in down.
I mean, if you want like the absolute best power banks and whatnot, you go buy an Anchor, right? But it doesn't say B&O on it, so.
That's right. I have an Anchor power bank, which is very good. However, it doesn't say B&O on it.
Yeah. I mean, B&O, go do a collab with Anchor or something for your charging cables or chargers and power banks and shit.
Mm-hmm. I wonder who they did them with. I don't think they did it with anybody, more or less. Do you think it's a rebranded design of some sorts of that power
Maybe.
bank?
Regardless, it's very like. I mean, it's all from China, right? So like,
Hmm.
at this
Whatever you
point,
spec, I guess.
who are we kidding, right? Like, as long as it sort of meets roughly what you say it's going to be.
Hmm. It sucks that that's the newest product, quite honestly.
Yeah, yeah. There is literally not much going on.
Makes it tough.
I
Makes
mean,
it tough to be a Bio fan.
at some point, I don't know what to say. Right.
Yeah, there's really not much going on with the BNOs and stuff.
Come join the Discord, I guess. We'll chat about other stuff. There's plenty of threads. Supersonic Boy. Any comments on Bino have 2 years of money left as they are burning through money on their financial reports in the last 3 years? Are Bino courting bigger AV companies like Harman or new investors? Well, we're not official comment. Well, we're official BeoTalk commenters, right? But we have no relation to the company as such.
No.
Look, we all have, if you saved, right, have 2 years of money left.
Hmm.
Like, if you look at it that way, you're assuming they won't sell a thing in the next 2 years.
Yeah, it's not going to be stagnant waters just because they don't have a new product line per se or new product in portfolio, other than I guess the Premiere is the most recent one, really. It doesn't mean that they're going to tank. Like, they're still making sales. The BNO is still moving, even though there is really nothing. It's hard to be pumping the same amount of products like all the other brand name companies do, because I think their focus is more on quantity versus quality, whether
Yes.
with B and the longevity per se would be the I guess the biggest one, where the built-in obsolescence, it never really was a term with BNO, so I don't think they're gonna go tits up in 2 years. And also, if you had a foresight that you have 2 years left of your finances, are you just gonna fucking sit at home and just burn those 2 years off and then be homeless, or are you gonna do something about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same. Like, once you know that the boat's taking on water, you either plug the holes or you fucking watch it sink, and that's that.
I mean, they're losing money, but not.
I think a lot of that money was hemorrhaged into that goofy ass formula nonsense that over the years that now amalgamated to what it is, plus the big ass exit fee that Mr. Terry took upon himself.
Yeah,
That's a lot
also
of money for a company like that.
His general pay structure was
insane.
Yeah.
So now that they've stopped bleeding money nonsensically, I think that their major focus needs to be something new into portfolio, be it a Mozart subwoofer, which I think would be the most logical way to start and go about it, because then you can support your BeoLab 8s, BeoLab 28s, you can support your fucking emerges levels, all that can be connected together with the Premiere, even theater, for whatever reason you would do that with, but you could. So that's, I think, their major focus needs to be at this point of time.
I mean, if nothing else, right, like by getting rid of the last CEO, they kind of stopped this money drain.
Yeah.
Because a huge drain of that was him and his antics.
Shenanigans.
There is stuff in the works, but they've just pushed it for several reasons. If nothing else, right, I think they, at least the new guy, probably, hopefully, finally understands that we can't do this thing continually where the new product is sort of like, oh, we're not sure if it works, but it's new, but you're going to pay a lot more once it fully works.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, there can be color glitches or like app things, right? But other than that, we're not going to
Oh,
do
but
the
like the
theater
theater,
again.
yeah,
Yeah.
like come on, right? Like, mid fucking movie reboots itself or it gets stuck in a loop and you can't watch anything like that. That can't be happening. Same thing like when the Halo, which I'm glad that they sort of kind of listened to it and listened to us on the podcast, and they didn't. It was 3/4 baked. It wasn't half baked, but
Yeah.
it
It was a
still
lot
had.
further along.
It was a lot further along, but there was still raw dough in the bread. So it's I don't think that as a company they're going to go away. If anything, they'll scale down, and they just need someone at the helm that, first you need to tighten up where all this bullshit's going, because there is a redundancy in different departments, I'm sure, that shouldn't be, and meetings about meetings to have meetings.
Oh, for
And
sure.
there needs to be a heightened focus on software stability and the app, and also there needs to be an actual department with working ears that listens to customer feedback or what's wrong or whatnot, and not this fucking bot that replies most of the time.
Yeah, it can't get stuck in tier 1 support, right? Like this hasn't been good.
I'm not that level of customer, but a customer with a 90s, right? Because I have a different understanding of this brand than the client that just spent now 260,000 Canadian dollars on a pair of fucking speakers and something doesn't work, right? And it's the core per se, because that has software issues. To him, is like, bro, I'm sitting in front of 300 grand after tax with whatever, and it doesn't work, right? Because
Yeah.
there is an issue where I had this issue the other day when I was putting up a core, BeoConnect core. I could not assign a right speaker to it. The app would crash. Therefore, there's only one speaker. I had to call Brad in fucking Vancouver to do the service tool through the product health and assign both speakers over the phone with me. So, by the way, kudos to B&O for the app. The 90s now display in proper colors on my theater.
Can you change colors?
No, you can't change colors, I was going to say. But, these are now embedded in as mine.
What they do with prices is so weird, right? Like this Parisian Night Blue used to be so much more expensive. And now it's like a $6,000 difference. And it used to be like a 30K offset.
Yeah, that was a big one. Those were the Parisian Midnight Blue were very, very expensive.
Yeah, and when they first launched, they were the same price as black or white.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it the sort of forged iron gray?
That's right.
Or as a dealer told me, forget iron ray. Like what?
But forged iron gray were nice. That was a nice color. Yeah. A little bit too gray for what my liking would be, but it was a nice color.
Ed says, when you close stores, you can expect to lose money. Sure. But don't forget, B&O, the company, right? Their bookkeeping is very different than the stores. So their terms of sale is quite often from the HQ to the store, and that's how they report a sale. Then whatever the dealer does with it is sort of like, well, we already sold it, right? Like
that's it. So yeah. So net every year you guys make money. That's the net profit and income. Unfortunately, B&O are the opposite and losing money. Negative cash flow. Hopefully they reverse the loss. They reverse the net loss after revenue and expense.
Well, even staying neutral, right, would be a good thing for a while. Because, I mean, making new stuff is expensive. Testing new stuff is expensive. Going to the FCC for all these new products and or the European equivalent, it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't make it back in the first 100 products sold generally.
No.
I do feel right like their management layers are too big, especially for how much they've downsized over the years in terms of people. I mean, in terms of people, compared to other audio companies, the smaller boutiquer ones like Bowers and Wilkins, they were quite large, but they sort of kept the same management layer, which is kind of makes no sense to me. But if you look around, right, like even Bowers and Wilkins and stuff like that isn't doing all that great at the moment.
I don't think many companies are really.
Yeah, I mean, there's a general downslope in home audio anyway.
Well, I think that the soundbar culture now is prevailing quite a bit more than like the stack stereos and all that. I think also due to the apartment living, that people are now more condensed. There's a higher density of population. And, you know, if it's something that is on how it works, let's say in Montreal with the rent, right, where they give you a first year, they give you 1 month for free, which is amortized into the rent. So you're paying $200, let's say, on average, less a month. And then on the year after, they hit you with that $200 and plus a 4 or 5% increase that annually happens. So people always move. So here, a lot of people buy sound bars because it's less shit to carry and pack with the receivers, the cables, the nonsense. So they just put a Sonos or B&O or whatever it is, or Harman Kardon soundbar underneath the TV, and Bob's your uncle, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm looking at something like Focal, right? Like, I mean, they sort of joined with Name in North America. So, and Focal is one of the better companies. Bowers and Wilkins is in this mega conglomerate that keeps on selling to other people, and apparently they're not even that profitable, even though they're equally as expensive, if not more. I even think that something like Sonos hasn't done all that well in the last few years. And Sonos is on the cheaper side, right? Like,
but Sonos really got hurt when they did those headphones and they fucked up the app and everything basically downstream from that day.
Sure, but B&O's done the same, and they're still standing.
Yeah, they're still standing. So did Sonos. They corrected it, but they took a pretty big hit. I don't think B&O's ever had anything of that magnitude that was that bad.
I mean, Focal, right, apparently employs roughly between 300 and 500 people globally. B&O is like 1,000 people almost, and most of them are in Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
It's
because you can't count the people that, let's say, make the Lab 90s chassis. That's a subcontract to a different company. So is all the wood is subcontracted to a different company. So you can't count those people as employees, because I'm sure that they're not the only thing that they're making is the grills for B&O. Supersonic says average lifespan of a flagship speaker is about 14 years. BLF 90 is now about 10 years old. Well, it's 11 almost.
Apparently, annual revenue for B&O is still 2x Focal. And Focal has speakers that would make the 90s blush in terms of price.
Oh, 100%. And that's not even, they're not even powered up yet.
No, you have the Grand Evo Utopias for like $300 and something $1,000. And then you need to go buy some amps.
And cables.
A source and that sort of shit.
So anyways, have you any ideas on what technology B&O will move on to after DSP cardioid tech? I'm not sure what that even is. What improvements would you guys like to see in the next flagship speakers? Well, obviously a much higher level of room compensation, somewhere into up to maybe 20K.
And I mean, our old co-host, well, not old, like he's just not around because of life and stuff, but he's still a co-host as far as I consider. Henrik spoke to Jeff about it.
Mm-hmm.
And for there to be a lot of improvements on the 90s, right, you just have to make a bigger speaker. Like you have to make bigger cabinets that can contain more pressure and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you can make it more efficient. You can put more
power
room
in
compensation and that sort of thing in it. But for it can't go much lower without making it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It can't go much higher because you already can't hear the high end. So it's going to be, the improvement is going to be in the sort of higher bass to mid-range, essentially, and how you treat that signal and how fast you do that. I mean, it would be nice if we get to a point, right, where 90s don't have that massive delay, where the audio signal processing is just
instantaneous,
10 milliseconds or less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now for like on high quality, it's what, 60?
I think it's about there. Yeah, it's
about 2 frames or so. So anyway, that sort of stuff, that is most likely where they'll go.
Mm-hmm.
I guess with technical improvements, you can make it roughly the same but smaller.
Yeah.
Which for packaging reasons might be a nice thing. But in terms
yeah,
of
it wouldn't be a bad idea to have something between the 50s and the 90s as far as the size goes, but then again, there is not really that much difference in size. Like if you just sit like the 90s have definitely a very large footprint, but when it comes to the overall girthiness, it would look a little thinner with the 50s at the front, but I don't know. Then 28s look like little needle sticks compared to these, right?
Yeah. Well, they kind of are.
So I don't know. I don't know how much more you can improve other than the DSP, bro. I think that you're always gonna, with sound, you're always gonna combat physics. With picture, you're gonna combat algorithms and codecs and whatever, which is way easier to be messed with computationally than trying to push 20 hertz at fucking 150 dBs, if you will, right?
Yeah, there's a reason so many people still use 8000s, right? It's not because it's cheap, but because like speakers are kind of what they are, and it's physics. I mean, if they sounded good back then, they still sound good now. If they're in similar shape.
The way how sound travels will not change and never has. So unless we're underwater, then it's faster. But
I mean, another thing they could potentially do, right? But I don't know where this is because this is a kind of not speaker realms. But if there's improvements in material science, where like you could contain that pressure in a chassis where it would weigh like half the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the ease of moving, something like a 90, right? Like if the chassis was half the weight, like if 35 kilos was on that speaker was just gone because of better materials.
That's a lot.
Yeah, they would be so much easier to move.
Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks about these speakers is actual transport. But other than that, once you have them sit and set up, they are something else.
I mean, they may do something completely out of the ordinary, right? Where you get, I don't know, a modular speaker or something like that, where like where you can sort of, something like that, where I don't know, maybe you have like a sort of a latch pull type system where if you want a 15-inch drive or two 10-inch drivers where you can sort of hook it up or something like that, right? I don't know. They may go into something like a totally different direction. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna go with it, but I think they should make something if it comes to the speakers, because 90s they're the pinnacle, then 50s are just perfect. But I think that they need something like along the lines of BeoLab 9, BeoLab 20-ish size, maybe a little bit taller than a 20, so you can get that lens. I would guess you wouldn't have a lens over the couch. Hmm.
Yeah, look, if I'm not opposed to them making an absolute new masterpiece that's going to be 500,000 or more, right? Straight from the get go. Like these are
Hmm.
the H105s, whatever. They're better than the 90s, but they're also ridiculously priced. Uh, where like they're going to be so enormous that it's going to be a modular system that to get it through the door, the base has to be a separate sort of standalone box that somehow makes sense with mid ranges separated from it. And there's this whole process of a guy coming into your house to set it up properly because that's part of what you're buying in exclusivity.
Hmm.
Uh, would think that is a good idea. Like you're not going to sell many of those, but who cares, right? It's not about that. It's about the prestige. Like even if you sell, I don't know, 10 pair a year of those, like fantastic. Even if it's 5, but those people that buy that, if I don't know, if you still have the option to attach it to a theater, give it a year or two, they're going to come back like, can I get some 90s as rears or something like that?
Hmm. I don't know. 90s are a very hard thing to compare to any other thing when it comes to that level of a high-end speaker, I guess, because all the other ones, it's just what sound do you prefer based on what amp, what cables or fucking DAC and all that nonsense you're using. Where with P&O, they all sound the same. You know what I mean? Like you can sell the same pair of speakers to 4 different clients, and there is going to be 4 different sounds out of it coming out. More or less, also because of the room, which unless you pay for the room compensation to come a guy to do it. But if they all use different equipment, that speaker will sound differently. Where I've been around 90s for quite some time. I can tell you, I've had them for 10 years, and I've installed them in a number of places over the time, and they are the closest to be truthful to themselves out of all the other, I call them third-party speakers that I had ever installed. Be it Powers and Wilkins, be it uh, Canton. We were big on those in Quebec Zone. So it's when it comes to the continuity of, I guess, the listening curvature of what you expect from sound quality, the 90s will be, or B&O altogether, I think the sound signature is the most consistent to itself versus any of this other third party stuff that you mix and match and do your thing. So it's just, for to each their own. And my honest belief is that people that buy these third party systems and stack them together, they more or less listen to their system than they are listening to the music that's playing in it. So that's my 2 cents. And quite honestly, when I listen to shit at home, it's usually I go to the Halo and press cleaning mode, and then everything turns on. So it doesn't sound the same, but it sounds good enough that if I'm in the bathroom cleaning, the level's just enough. 90s you can't really hear because I'm not going to have them juicing the fuck out of the entire apartment. And Avant sounds great with the sub. I have a V1 with the sub as well. So it all, like, there is depth and definition into each room as far as music is concerned. But I guess I'm trying to say that they all sound like from a distance when you're not paying attention to it, they all sound the same to me. So
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely do stuff with 90s, right? Like, if nothing else,
yeah,
you have to at some point because the speaker cones are going to be updated and that sort of thing. I mean, who makes them again? ScanDisk.
Yeah.
Like they're not sitting on their ass just making the same thing. They're constantly improving.
Yes.
I
Scan speak,
don't.
that's what it is. But I think that they actually have a different set of drivers now inside the newer Lab 90s than what mine originally have.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure if it matters all that much. If like because you then run into other tuning issues, right? If the frequency changes and that sort of thing.
Well, from yesteryears of time that I could ever remember, every speaker that I had replaced, speaker driver that I had replaced in any B&O speaker itself, came with the numbers of the dB value that they have that you have to either enter. So like on the Lab 3s, there was these little not I guess trim pots or whatever you call them, and then you have to like a couple of clicks to this side, and then it's not something that I guess sonically maybe Jeff Martin could tell you like, hey, fuck, this one is off. But Lab 5s also you have values that now it sucks because they shut down the server, but back in the day you could download the values of what the speakers values were at the factory the day one, and then okay, I'm replacing the mid bass. So you replace the mid bass and then you put the new value that the sticker on the back of the mid bass has into the software, upload it into the BeoLab 5 chassis, and then everything is you can't do that. Like let's say you blow a Bowers and Wilkins driver.
Yeah.
There's nowhere for them to tell anything that this is now a new cone that has a deviation of let's say half a dB to a minus. So
I mean, any speaker you make is always a compromise, right? Even at the high end, like even 90s or even the Focal Grand Utopia Evo 3s or whatever they are, because there was this thing. This was several podcasts ago. I found this sort of chat somebody had with Jeff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he went into fucking nerdy detail. It's somewhere on the Discord where the driver you pick has an emitting sort of cone, right? And but also like both sort of axes. So with the 90s for doing wide mode, there's a reason they chose the drivers because they mesh nicely. And that's like you can't do that with every tweeter. The same way, like do you want something that is a fucking laser beam, or do you want something that you can sort of sit normally around?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if anything is a laser beam, right? Like BeoLab ones, a lot of people hate them for that specific reason.
Very, very, very laser beamy, but they sound great when you're in the center, man. When you're in a sweet spot, ooh, they are.
But also
juicy.
that tweeter is like it's a juice them and you'll get a very strange sensation of pain that you don't get from anything else, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't distort, right? It's not exactly like it's too loud, but it's almost like my ears are on fire internally and I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like one of these sonic weapon things.
Yeah, and Lab ones are nice.
Yeah, but that's partially why I love them. But like, this is partially why Steve prefers pentas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't hate pentas or anything. They're just not for me. But it's just one of these personal questions, right? Like, everything's a trade-off.
Yeah.
There just isn't a trade-offless speaker. It just doesn't work like that. So, well, yeah. I mean, like Supersonic says, like shrillness. Shrill, it doesn't always, just because you perceive it as shrill, right, doesn't mean it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into like, what can you measure? Because you can't even, like, we're not even advanced enough to measure everything.
Well, I guess a good example is the same thing like when I first bought the A8s, right, in 2005 2004 or whatever, 2003. And I come from like years of listening to either Panasonics or Sony Phontopia earbuds, right?
Yeah.
And then I put the A8s on, and I'm just like, holy fuck! Well, like, there's no bass, but it's just like everything was so clear. But that's because my tonal recognition of what I was hearing wasn't clearly. I guess my ear wasn't really even adjusted to that level of, I guess, quality or balance per se, right? And then a few days passed, and I had the BeoSound 1, or no, sorry, BeoSound 2, which is the little MP3 player, and the A8s needed the foam cups for sure.
Yeah.
And that was a game changer. But after a while, I went back to Sony Phontopia and just listened to them, and I was like, what the fuck is with the sound, man? It's just right. It didn't sound good. It didn't sound good to me anymore. And it's the same thing. It's the old slipper theory from Jeff Martin, or the old shoe, right, versus new shoe. You haven't walked them in yet. It's the same thing. So, and music is just, it's the same as, there's a reason why it's just the spice of life, because everybody takes a little bit of it spice differently.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when it comes to speakers and breaking, I personally don't really believe in that, because it creates so many problems, right? Like, if I don't know, if as a manufacturer, if your music that is played alters your speakers, then you have no control of the end product you sell. Because if you break them in with, I don't know, the death metal versus R&B or something like that, right? Like, your end product is going to be so different every time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the break-in period of a speaker is much more the user getting used to whatever you're listening through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 90s, bro. That's one of the reasons why I'm still like, do I sell them? Do I not? I don't want to sell them because I know I'll miss them. And it's not that I could never really afford them again, but I don't think I would want to afford the headache of them again. You know what I mean?
Currently, it's the pain,
That's it. It's like having a fat wife, So just deal with it. But, when she's gone and the cooking's gone, then you kind of, shit, shouldn't have. So that's where I'm at with it, because the problem with the 90s that I had found over the years is it's the only problem. They get in your head acoustically. They really get in your head acoustically. And I guess I could call myself, I was lucky enough to spend the entire quarantine during the crazy times with the 9000 and Deezer account and a set of 90s in my house with the Eames chair. So It was a fucking greatest lockdown of all times. And once you burn through all of your music on the CDs that you've grown up with at high school, and you hear shit that you've never heard before, and there is no other speaker that played it like that. There is no other speaker that plays it like that. That's it. That's all there is to that. So they definitely are one of those that get in your head, because you get very judgmental over other systems. But I think that also comes in a lot with people like ourselves that are watching this podcast, that are Bang & Olufsen fans, that you just are used to, and you're attuned to a certain sound image, and you have a certain expectation of clarity that's supposed to be coming out of something, right? And when it don't, it just doesn't make sense to you, and it doesn't sound good, and therefore you don't like it.
Jose Miguel, that is too long there after 7045.
Jose, that's it.
He was between BeoLab 8s and BeoLab 28s for his main room, and he lives in an apartment. I think 28s is too much. What do you think? Unless you're on the bottom floor with no neighbors below you, I think you are correct. Because the 28s downfire, and that is much more a problem with your neighbors than 8s will ever cause.
Yes.
So if you're buying 8s, I would say go for it. Personally, I think the 8s are slightly better balanced than the 28s. There really isn't that much in between them. And if you ever want to like up your game, you can get a 19 or something like that.
Also, Jose, remember, the 28s sound the best on a concrete or a hard surface floor.
Yeah, and if you have neighbors below you, they will not agree with that.
No, that's the same with 5s. It's just a disaster. But I would honestly go with 8s. And you know what? For the money, you can still throw in a BeoLab 19 in the mix that'll pick up the bottom end better than the 28s would, with your neighbors not getting the dust off the chandelier in their eyes.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, for sure. So 8s all the way. Yeah, good choice. I love my 8s. They're a fantastic speaker, especially for the size. Especially if you live in an apartment, right? It's so much easier to like place them anywhere. You have more options too. I mean, yes, you can add a BeoLab 90 to 28 and do it that way, right? But like the 19 does so much heavy lifting that I think you're essentially equal between 28 and a 19 and 8 and 19.
That just isn't the sound from speaker also largely depending on how the music was recorded. Music nowadays is recorded differently. Well, music nowadays is recorded digitally versus what it used to be when Pink Floyd was doing their Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
However, the remastered Dark Side of the Moon in Dolby Atmos from 2023 is epic in sound quality, and they're using more or less the same sounds that they had on of the master tapes. So, I agree, but I think when it comes to we're speaking solely about the 90s and let's say 50s as well. It is not that the music sounds bad or that it was badly recorded. It just exposes exactly what it sounded like, and it's not just the fact that how the music was recorded. A lot of that is also on the sound engineer that finally approves how this album is going to sound and fucking stamps it off. That's the last person that has anything to do with anything. So that's it's the same thing for movies. If you have a great sound engineer, the soundtrack's gonna kick ass. If you hire a guy that's deaf in one ear, well, fucking good luck with the surround, right? Yeah. It's just that's where it's at. And also, what's your budgets, right? Because good people are hard to find and they're not cheap. So when it comes to music, like I had listened to every single CD that I had ever bought through the 90s over the quarantine. And I've done some side-to-side comparison versus I did it with the Fat of the Land album from Prodigy with the Firestarter and all that in there. I did that CD SPDIF out into the 90s directly, and title Deezer from the Avant or from the at the time BeoSound Moment. So Deezer Hi-Fi from BeoSound Moment into the 90s through the Avant directly, and the CD sounded better. So
yeah, just because it says lossless on something digital doesn't necessarily mean it's like full fat anything.
No, it's not. It's the same thing like you're being lied to with the 4K Netflix and Primes and whatever else have you. Like if you were to watch, let's say, Maverick in 4K download stream 1-to-1, you're looking at 47 gigabytes of data in the length of that movie.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way in hell that you have that connection. And there's no way in hell that everybody else that would watch that movie from that server, the Netflix would just Chernobyl, for God's sakes, the whole fucking server room. So that's when it comes to that, I think that nothing beats owning the media still to this day, even though the Blu-rays are harder to find. But if you have a good Blu-ray player, which also those are starting to go by the wayside, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think Panasonic is the last one that makes a decent one, and maybe Sony, but forget the
LGs are gone.
What are they called? The very
Oppo?
expensive. Yeah, the Oppo players. They're
I was lucky to get my hands on one, but yeah, but I have I guess the simulated 4K. It's not a real 4K, so I think it's a BD103. But it's got SACDs and all that stuff that I still have SACDs, believe it or not. So I could listen to them through the theater, but I think I'll have to go HDMI out output because that's the SLP or whatever that format is. I forget the name of it. That it's not supported through the optical for quadraphonic or SACD.
Sigmund says BeoLab 90 and 50s are good, but not WAF friendly. BeoLab 18 is. Very, very fucking true.
Yeah, 18s are definitely much more sleek and slender. Let me grab some more soda.
I have personal experience with that.
I know, you know it firsthand.
Yeah, the 50s were not that very much appreciated in the beginning.
the
18s were like, yes, please. Oh, fantastic. The 50s were sort of like, do we have to?
I think it's the stiletto tip on the 18s that has a big wife approval factor.
And then the idea of 90s very much was like, no, please don't. Like, I understand that you want them, that sort of deal, but like, could we not, please? Like, they're so enormous.
Well, but you ended up with a pretty good deal. Like, instead of a pair of 90s, you got 2 pairs of 50s. God, that's not bad.
But especially at the time, right? We didn't have as much space as we do now.
Yes.
Like, now it's a bit more sort of like, I guess it fits and it's okay, but like, are you sure with cats and things?
Have fucking baby gates around your 90s. Like, who did that on the Discord? Somebody had
BeoJohn.
BeoJohn, yeah, he had baby gates around his 90s.
Yeah, and one of
don't blame him, the guy
still puked on the stage. Like, it pulled itself out.
Of course it would, right? Oh, and stage is a pain in the ass to take the grill off too.
Yeah.
Harsh core.
So yeah, there's that. The 18s never had that issue. Like, they're just gorgeous. I mean,
yeah.
In terms of practicality, right? Like, you could never ever get 28s and remotely this high. It's going to look so weird. But with 8s, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. With the 90s, if you're comparing 90s busted with the 50s, the 90s honestly shine the most in the narrow mode. That's it. That's what they were more or less designed. All that wide and omni was basically done superficially because they needed all these drivers on all these sides to do whatever it has to happen at your ear level in the sweet spot when you have no friends and one chair. So that's and you have got to be in the proper spot. And I also found it like in Quebec Song when we got the 90s, I tuned them exactly how I tuned mine. And Kareem's like, wow, dude, like they're too much towed in together. I'm like, because they're supposed to be on axis. Like, that driver should be firing straight shot to you, man. If you put them wider, then it's still computationally it's harder for the processor, but I don't think it's the same effect. I wasn't arguing. I just did what they wanted to, and that's that. I don't have to argue with him because I have mine set up the way I want them. But it's definitely like, if you're gonna go listen to anything on the 90s, make sure that also they are tuned properly, right? And God knows where the tuning sweet spot is. If the room's changed a little bit or they moved the couch by fucking 1 foot, bro, you're done. And narrow mode, you're finished. It's gone. You have to be exactly where that microphone was from the first center measurement and to the other ones too. That's
Yeah,
it.
if you like laying on your couch, right, and you have it in
Forget
narrow,
it.
you better tune it for where you lay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, personally, I am not that big a fan of listening to B&O in narrow mode, partially because that for a long time was never a thing because of the lenses, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like B&O's narrow wide mode, especially with lenses, especially what 50s have or the BeoSound 2. There is 90s absolutely can do wide mode, but because they are radiating through tweeters and mid ranges wide, that gives a very different sound than that sort of air you get from an acoustic lens.
Well, because there's still the driver's at the back of its head. It's still correcting stuff, right? It's
Yeah,
just beaming it a little more wider, but they're still doing the room comp regardless. So where in the 50s, you just shoot that high frequency into the tweeter and it's either this way or that way, right? As far as the narrow and wide, but there's a little bit of a less control when it comes to that. Maybe the mid-range drivers compensate for some of that beam forming, but that term essentially was first used on the 90s as far as the beam forming technologies.
yeah. Matt says I normally keep my 50s in wide mode, even when I'm in certain sound modes for the harmony. Yeah, same. Because I'm also never really in the same spot. Like often when music is on or loud, right? Like I am somewhere in the room, but not like I don't have your setup, right? Where you have one chair.
Hmm.
Like I just don't have that setup. So it doesn't really
Yeah, but
work
you
for me.
live with a woman. I live with nobody, bro. Like, it's
Yeah.
it changed for a bit, but it didn't change for long enough for me to buy a couch. And even I rarely ever sit in this chair. Usually I do shit in the kitchen, whatever, move around. And if I sit here, yes, it's a narrow mode because I every now and then I have a urge to listen to some Depeche Mode or Eric Clapton off the
Yeah.
9000. So, but yeah, it's going to be different if I have somebody in my life. Yeah, the speakers are going to have to adjust for that, but there's still going to be a mode where Daddy can sit between them and listen to tunes properly.
Yeah. Jose actually says I live on the ground floor, so I have no neighbors below. Oh, that's lucky. What do you
Hmm.
think of stereo pair BSN balance? I saw your video said the balance is a small 90. Is it better than the 8s? In some ways. If you want, depending on what you connect it to and how you want to use it, right? Like if with a theater or a premiere or something, they definitely have more power than the 8s and more capability for bass output.
Hmm.
At
And imaging, I
normal
don't think so.
listening volumes, I don't think they're better. They're not that far off, but if you just want to pump and be as loud as possible, right, and want to do it as cheaply as possible, I would say go balances.
Hmm.
But where the balances are sort of like the 90s is that you have that omni mode, right, and it can detect when it's close to a wall, and then you can like do the whole beam forming thing, whereas with 8s it's either wide or it's narrow. uh,
Hmm.
so if you want sort of a better normal listening volume experience to fairly loud, I would say go for 8s. But if you listen to a bunch of techno and that sort of shit, right? Like then it's much more bass heavy. Then there's nothing wrong with balances.
I'd go with the 8 just because of the personal preference of presentation per se.
Yeah, and I mean, it depends on what you connect it to. Do you want it to have it as a solo setup? If so, the 8s are probably better. If you want to connect it to anything with wireless power link or was it DPL? With DPL now fully engaged, then that makes it okay. But as a standalone, I've there's so many. I'm slightly biased because the 8s just did it fine from the start, and the balance had this whole it's been around longer, right? So it's been much
Mhm.
more like, I don't know if it functions as well because I've heard so many iffy stories, but it was kind of fine once these were put out. So I
Yeah,
don't know how to answer that. I think I would go for the 8s, and I think you'd be very, very, very happy with that.
I
Also, if
think
you
so too.
want to change with TVs or sound or theaters or premieres, I think you're probably better off with 8s for the use and the flexibility. Also, placement, right? Like you can put these on a wall much easier or on a floor stand. With balances, it's kind of an afterthought.
Hmm.
Like STB and or to Greener Studio makes stands for them, but it, it's just not the same as like 8s. Here, uh, like it's not a bad solution in any way, right? But it's not as
It looks awkward.
yeah.
It looks awkward a bit.
I mean, you can get stands like these for Beer Sound 2s as well, and same. There is, I think STB makes a wall bracket for this, right? But you sort of essentially have to sort of ping pong paddle and then a wall plate, and it also kind of looks strange. Whereas like 8s are like full on from the get go designed to go on the wall if you wanted it to, or
Mhm.
on the ceiling if you wanted to.
I'd go with the 8s every day.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know the budget, right? Like if you want to get
Hmm.
the most bang for the budget, like a Premiere with 4 balances is going to be fucking amazing,
Yeah.
and a fair bit cheaper than if you do it with 8s. So
At that
I
point,
don't
I
know.
would just get like 2 pairs or 4 silver balances with the Premiere
Yeah, and then
and the Quadrat grill on
sort of
that,
figure
so
it
it
out
looks.
where you put them. Just put some furniture in all the corners or wherever you put them.
Or get the pedestals like BNO did, right? Instead of
Yeah.
them on the pedestals in one of the pictures.
You better hope that it's solid and not that compressed wood, right? Because that's going to resonate like all hell.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's not gonna be fun.
He says, I'm very happy with my 8s. I only had one A9. I felt three-dimensional sound and better sound stage. Now I play them together and it's a joy to listen to. Good. I love an A9. A9 is fantastic, especially the
Hmm.
newer ones. I mean, essentially anything post Mark II has been good.
Yeah,
The
but the
Mark
Gen
One was a
5
bit,
is really. It
yeah,
sounds better than all of them before, but it's also Mozart, right?
yeah.
So it's much more friendlier to the newer
I'm so
environment.
tempted to get, like, I have literally no space for an A9, but I'm so tempted to get one.
I don't have any room to put it, man.
It
It
would go
just
outside permanently, literally under the covered porch area, like for
That's
a
sweet.
permanent outside speaker. But I feel so bad doing that.
I don't think you should. Not in where you live, and it's covered. There's never gonna be rain on it ever.
No,
You don't even have barbecue close enough to fucking smoke it up.
no.
Where I'm thinking where you're gonna put it. So
Yeah, no. It would probably go near the one of the doors where like it's not even in the sun actually, really.
mhm.
And
So
then
it's
we'll figure
perfect.
out where we get power from, but that's less of an issue. But I don't know. I feel bad to leave it permanently outside.
Well, I'm sure for the first few weeks you'll take it in and put it on the couch.
I would get a wall
Cats,
bracket for
you
it.
know. Of course.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Will I get another BeoSound 9000 again? I have a BeoCenter 2 at the moment, so I don't. I like it, but again, like, where the hell do I put this stuff, right? Like,
other than a floor stand, you're fucked because you could put it behind you on the wall, I guess.
Yeah, but okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, other than the bathrooms, pretty much every room has something B&O in it.
Yeah, the only thing that doesn't have B&O in it is my shoe closet, because even the other closet has B&O in it. Not playing, but it's just stored in there. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I wish that they kept the BeoCenter 2 for the Blu-ray era. There should have been a Mark III, but it's spinning too fast and blah blah. It wasn't safe. I'm like, I would never see that Blu-ray would fly through that aluminum butterfly shell to kill you. But if that was the reason, then okay, so be it. I think the reason was the communication was not fast enough between the head unit and the socket unit for anything other than DVD. But they could have done something about it, and just maybe they could have powered it through freaking HDMI, for God's sakes, at that point, or do it like a, I don't know. It's so long ago, man. It's not even funny. Though that media is dead as far as I guess DVDs. This was cool when BeoVision 5 was around. That was a bomb ass system.
I mean, I have a DVD burner ripper thing on USB, right? And I still have to do it at some point, but part of the reason why I like the BeoCenter 2 as it is that it can play MP3 DVDs. Where I can just put a CD in with like 18 albums on it. So they call it a day.
And just play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a use for it. My mom wants me to revive her BeoCenter 2, and it doesn't make sense, because then she loses the what is it? Yeah, the net radio, net music, right? She has to go through the list in the BO4 in order to turn her radio on. I have to reprogram the whole freaking Masterlink gateway or BeoLink gateway. It's not bad, but still. And how often?
Not exactly how you want to spend your weekend.
Yeah, like, how often do you listen to fucking CDs? Like, at the end of the day, it's still possible to do, because you can just go in to your bedroom, put it into the BeoVision 740 DVD drive, and go link DVD downstairs, and it will play the fucking CD. So,
look, at the end of the day, the BeoCenter 2 is also just a pretty piece, right? Like, I don't actually use it.
It's sitting in the corner there. It's wired, but the socket unit died, so I have it with me. Never fixed it, but it's still it still just looks good there.
Yeah.
But it'll screw up the system a little bit once I introduce it back into it. So for that reason, I decided not to. Thank you, Jose, for the coffee. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Jose. Yeah, on that note, since you're all dropping off to watch Formula One in Montreal, B&O would make a conduit to hide cord in the wall. Yeah, that's called a drill.
Back in the day, they used to have, and I still have some of it down, back in the 9000 days, they had not a conduit, but it was a cable hiding system, which was basically a half a pipe cut off of the floor stand, but it didn't have a diamond polish on it. It was just brushed aluminum, sort of like the BeoSystem, or sort of like the BeoSound 3 finish, which you can't really see behind the plant. But yeah, they did have those. No more. Now you just got to poke a hole in the wall and drop the cable down. And
or start making furniture again, Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, have a good week, everybody. We'll be back next week, like usual, because we're back. So
We're back.
hopefully Bino does something, and otherwise we'll have a chat and come join us, leave us a like, and buy Willie a coffee. And we'll see you all next week.
Bye. Thanks for
Bye.
watching.